Well, you know, as my fellow panelists have said, and I wholly agree, leadership is critical to this fight against corruption. Certainly, if the Public Accounts Committee is demanding money for people who are appearing before that committee, then that is something that has to be seriously looked at. And, you know, just briefly talking about Parliament, even the process for electing our MPs is problematic, you know, and we all know the allegations of corruption there. You know, people are have been forced to buy their seats, so when they get into Parliament, they feel they have to find a way to make up for the monies they've borrowed, etc., etc. We have had successive leaders talk about rooting out corruption. We have all the laws beautifully written. And the problem has always been whether we are practicing what we are preaching, whether we are walking the talk. Because as for the talking, we all talk very well. So I really believe that we need to go beyond that. We need to start taking proper actions to really strengthen our institutions beyond just the rhetoric, you know. You know, when I was growing up as a child, process was respected. So if someone was wealthy, everyone was interested in how they acquired that wealth before deciding whether they deserve to be respected or not. Now, it's the other way around. People look at the money and then they give instant respect based on the money, irrespective of the process for achieving that wealth. And so I mean, that has to be stopped because it's affecting every facet of our society. And it's not a good example for our youth, because there are people coming out of university and expecting to have a $200,000 four-wheel drive and a house in Trasacco or airport or wherever, et cetera, and they would do anything to achieve that. And so if such a person finds themselves in a position, in occupying a public position, and it's not far-fetched. We have people occupying some of these positions who really have no business being there. They just put their hands in the kitty and they take whatever they feel they need to take to enrich themselves, and there are really no consequences. And that's the problem. There has to be consequences. There have to be consequences for this. People have to know that it's a zero-tolerance zone. Corruption has to be a zero-tolerance zone with real consequences, with shaming, you know, naming and shaming and proper punishment.
Interestingly, the man under whom you served, President Kufuor, he introduced the term zero tolerance for corruption.
Yes.
Later, he would tell us corruption has been with us since the days of Adam. It's well, interesting, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, I don't think any society can completely eradicate corruption. But we have to get it down to a level which will allow development to go on. It has to be a high-risk, low-reward activity.
Right.
Right now, it's not perceived as such.
Okay.